to California, seen the sights and people there.
On the second day of Christmas, Jeff Bezos brought to me an ecosystem power supply for me. I am excited about this one, I must say. You've maybe heard of Jackery or 01 in some of the different companies. Another one, Bluetti, is out there. And this is the EcoFlow Delta 1300, whatever that means. It has about 1,000 watts of AC power. It's like an uninterruptible power supply. And so you basically put power into it, it stores it up, and it's out there when you need it. So you normally might be using like your solar panels, or you could be using your alternator from your car, or AC input from somewhere at home. You could use that. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hop, hop. Okay.
There.
The unboxing begins. Okay.
There's one right here.
Okay. We are getting there. And
surprise!
The unveiling continues. Stop. Claim your warranty. Okay. We will do that.
So how big is this thing?
It's 31 pounds, I guess. Now the Jackery 1000 watt is 22 pounds, but the battery technology is not as good as this. This has true lithium-ion batteries, and it has so much more power on things that will do. It uses the, I think Samsung initially came up with the 18650 batteries. They're a little like a Type A, but they're about half again as long. And like our e-bikes and things like that, they might put 50 or 100 of them in a big case. So yeah, this uses that same cell. So I guess if you needed to replace it at some point, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's got a nice case.
And it's actually a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. I think it's supposed to be 8 inches by 10 inches by 16 inches, I think is what they said. And it's got well packaged, and I think this is some of the cabling. So you can use the MC4 cables, which is what you typically think of for solar, or your Pulsey Buff, where it has that different type of a cable connection with the X60, I think it's called. I think it has some adapter cables. So, and then I guess if you're going to be charging it off of AC, then you would need that type of a plug also. So let's see what we've got here. Oh, here's one for a cigarette lighter. So if you want to charge it off of your cigarette lighter, it'll take quite a while. But that goes to the X60 connectors there. And here, if you're just charging it off of your house, you don't need any power pack. It just is all built into this. So you just need a typical power cable. And if you're using the MC4 from your solar panels, plug it into there, and the output, it uses that X60. So that's what will go into the unit. So let's take a look. Are you ready, Grace, for the unveiling?
I'm ready.
Oh, excuse me.
How much does something like this cost?
I think it's like $1,400, but they added $200 off, so it's $1,200 up until I think the 27th, a couple days after Christmas. So this is kind of a Kickstarter project, but it's been a while, so it's, you know, a real company now. And if you take a look at the reviews, all the companies that have done reviews on it have been very high in terms of the ratings on this. And I'll tell you why in a minute, but let's go ahead and take it out of the package.
Looks like we should name it.
We should have
He's got like little eyes.
What do you think for a good name?
RDT2 or...
It is kind of that size, isn't it? It's cute.
Mm-hmm.
So over on this side, you can see is the AC inputs. And so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now they don't have a ground with it normally, but if you do have a plug with a ground, like this one over here, that has a ground, you'll only be able to get 3 of them in, like that. But you don't normally have a ground when you're in an RV, because you know you provide your own grounding system on the chassis. So if you just have the 2 plugs, you could have up to 6 of them if you really needed that. You wouldn't normally, or you could have a terminal strip to go in. And this looks like for the cigarette, if you will. So you could use that for an output there to go ahead and you know, say you have something like a fan or something in your RV that you want to run off just the typical cigarette type lighter. And over on the side of it here, it looks like it says the different types of solar charge and extreme charge and overload protection. So, okay, there's that X60 connection that goes in. There's our 110 volt that goes in, and that's the big old reset button. So it does get overloaded. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you can see this here, but it's got some fans. It's got some big fans because this does a lot. You can have now it's 1,000 watts that it's going to give you, but you can have it produce 1, 2, even peaks up to 3,000 watts, not for very long, obviously, but if you want to do some arc welding or something that has a lot of current that's going to draw, this baby will produce for you. And it'll start the fans up because it's like, I'm getting hot. So that's why it has fans. And shh, don't tell anybody.
Don't even tell Grace.
There's 2 fans underneath it here for the DC circuitry. So that's just for the AC. Don't tell Grace about all these little secrets. Oh, and look at this. This must be the front. It's got a digital control panel here.
I thought it was a stereo system.
What if I press and hold? Will something happen?
Yeah, see, it's a channel, station 99.1.
99 hours left. It has 29.
Wow.
They ship it, I think, with 29% capacity. There's one thing you should know. And that is that when it gets... just one thing you should know. And that is that when it gets down to 0%, you know, they say never get a lithium down to like 0% because it'll destroy the batteries. Now, when it says 0%, that means it's still got 30% left. It gets down to about 20 or 30% and it shuts off. That doesn't mean the battery is dead. You can take it right down to 0. Okay, so let's see what it looks like when it's charging. I plugged it in and it's charging up. It shipped at about 29% and it's up to 31 as we can see, and the fans are just kind of running, not at a loud rate. I suppose it can get up higher though if the fans get running at a high speed. So if you get it hot, it's going to crank up a little bit more, but I would say that, you know, if I'm 6 feet away, barely audible, so I got to almost record video at this distance. So you can take a look at your inputs over there and your outputs. So you can see not only the input what's coming into it, because you can be having where you're getting charge from the solar or from the wall or whatever, and you can be producing output so it has bypass circuitry. But as it gets loaded heavily, it's going to turn on those fans, so you will hear some fan noise. And you can see you've got some outputs here for USB with different amounts of power that go out. You have a USB-C outputs here. It slices, it dilates. It's a Veg-O-Matic and more.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes.
These are all the things that, you know, the wives want to know. How long does it take to charge my cell phone, and what will that do?
Well, I guess however long it takes your cell phone to normally charge. So I think it could charge about like 100 cell phones. I mean, with 1,000 watts, it could charge a lot of cell phones.
Oh, cool. And what about when I want to do my hair?
Well, now if you want something that's 500 to 1,000 watts, remember this has 1,000 watts total.
Okay.
If you're not going to solar, it's got 1,000 and it's done. So if you're, how long are you going to run your hair dryer or your curling iron?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Yeah, it's going to be fine. You could probably do that 4 or 5 times if you really needed to do it there. It's normally not something that produces heat, which you use it for. It's normally for doing something like running a laptop or going to the booster for your cellular or things like that. Maybe running a television.
Yeah, how long can we watch TV?
I think about at least 8 to 10 hours, depending on how big the TV is. But yeah, you could, you know, for the evening. So if you can't run the generator in your RV and you want this, it's like, yeah, this will get you going quite well. Now, what some people do is they will say, well, why don't we get 2 of these? I'll have one of them that I will use for my primary, and I'll have the output of another feed to the input of this one. So, I mean, you could like stack these in series. Of course, you never get 100% of the output for what you put in, but still, you know, if you need more than 1,000 watts, you could go ahead and have multiple, and then it's provided you have solar. Now, we have 4 solar panels at 100 watts, so that would take about 4 to 5 hours to get this charged if we got it fully discharged.
Okay.
So that's about what you get a day. So, you know, you get your charge during the day, you use it at the night. Free power.
I love it.
Oh, you know, I think I forgot to tell you the main reason I got this, and that is for the charge time. is that most all of the other units that are 1,000 watts are going to take maybe 10, 12 hours to charge. And I don't want to spend that much time if I say I'm running the inverter that goes off of the car's alternator. I'd like it to charge an hour or two. This will charge in an hour and a half if it's not overheated. And you can get 80% charge after just 1 hour. So I really like that a lot, that this thing has a super fast charging ability. And it runs the fans to do it, but it's not stressing it at all. So that's one of the main reasons I've got this unit, is I like it for a fast charge. Now, if you're running off your solar and it's hooked up all day, fine. You know, you got 4 or 5 good hours of solar and that will charge it up also. But I'm not sure that I'm always going to be calling an opportunity for solar, because I may be off in the woods. You know, I might be in a campground where I've got a lot of trees around and I don't really want to be stuck. So anyway, that's one of the reasons that I really thought this unit was superior for my needs. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this and look for more. This is day 2 on Santa, Jeff Bezos and company bring us gifts. And we got this one from Amazon, so we're looking forward to getting started with it. Thank you, Amazon. So
Nobody asked you.
So I hope you enjoyed this. We got more things, more days, and this is the second day of Christmas coming to you from California Travel Videos. As always, peace out. Bye for now. Happy trails.
Bye-bye.
Have you been to California, seen the sights and people there?